Well, hello, my pickles, my snowflakes, my turtles, and my Goldilocks. Here we are. It's just another, well, for me, early morning, doing a little video about the keto lifestyle. Why not? It works. I got my Wicked Joe's French. Totally my favorite. It never disappoints, along with my Jot, which is like for those special occasions. So, welcome everybody. If you're new here, all the little names I called you at the beginning of this video are little names we've picked up over the years, being older people with our metabolisms. We're turtles, being very picky about our things like our coffee or our vegetables or how we like our meat done or how we like to eat. We're called Goldilocks, and I encourage you to be a Goldilocks because taking care of yourself is nice. Instead of buying the same old coffee, treating yourself to a wonderful, elegant bag of organic coffee, either you grind it at home or buying it ground. What a nice treat for yourself. Why not? Getting good eggs instead of just the 97-cent variety, treating yourself to the best of the best. It's really not that much more expensive. It's just kind of nice. Well, my downstairs cellar refrigerator died last night. Ugh. And of course, I've got all the things in it, all the backups, and I'm the queen of the backups. So it's like, oy vey, what a mess. So I could throw the butter, also known as butter, into the freezer, excuse me. And but there are some items that were lost in it, and so it's a mess, but it's what happens. So my upstairs fridge is packed, and looking for something is definitely a scavenger hunt, but that's okay. Today's topic is something that I take as a 24-hour box with a great big bow on it. You pick your color, and I call it the gift. It is food sanity, food abstinence, and food sobriety. SASS, right? And it just throw in another S to make it SASS. It has worked for me for years. I ask for it every morning in my prayers and thank the higher power every night for it, because without the SASS, I would be up the creek, and no paddles provided. I have a food issue, a food addiction, a food whatever it is, and so I need sanity in my day. And so by doing this, I do not practice deprivation, just so you know, right out of the gate. The game changer came for me with the clean intermittent fasting. Plain water, sometimes with salt in it, sometimes not, as I start my day, and just black coffee. That's it. That's the clean intermittent fasting. I take my supplements with my OMAD. I have my little OMAD. And Math Faster, one of the frequent contributors here with comments, she said, I hope this doesn't upset you, but Mark Sisson has a 2MAD book coming out because, he's my guy. Of course, I kind of like the diet doctor too, Dr. Andreas. But anyway, that being said, I don't know what it's going to be about. Well, obviously 2MAD, but it's going to be interesting. But whatever your food plan is, be it 3MAD, 2MAD, OMAD, she pauses, sticking to it and considering that part of your SASS, your sobriety, your abstinence. Of course, you could do the attitude too, and your did I say sanity, abstinence, and sobriety. Those things are so important because the moment they go out those windows, that's when damage has always occurred for me, maybe for you too. And back in my real overeating days, I wouldn't call it like a scavenging binge, but it was definitely clearly overeating. And I always knew, and would still know today, that line, that like, too far, you've gone too far. Now you're going to start piling it in and going unconscious, right? That feeling when the overeating wins. And you don't want that, right? You don't want that. That's why, it's good for me to have my little designated OMAD. It's what works for me. The other stuff was the clean intermittent fasting part. Nothing but plain water, plain black coffee in all those 23, 24 hours leading up to that gift of the OMAD, the one meal a day. To me, that's my sanity. I don't know what I'd do if I was like somebody pushed something on me at 11 in the morning and it's like, well, I'm used to eating at around 2. I know it would definitely disrupt me and it would be, hard to get out of it and hard to do it, right? Both those things. And so we want to be sane about our food and we don't want to have deprivation. What does that mean for me? That means that my meal is a planned delight. It's fun. It's fabulous. It's like I look forward to it, not to the point that I'd eat 3 hours early because I'm so excited about it, but I like looking forward to it. I think that that's part of it is, the anticipation of it, not the expectation, but the anticipation of a good, hearty, fat rich, protein rich, vegetable rich meal. I love my little bowls of vegetables. I love my little salad over here. It works. And the protein. Now, for example, I bought a Bell and Evans little young chickie at Whole Foods, and Greg is going to smoke it on the big green egg when we do that. And then I will finish it off in the air fryer. And so I will take 4 to 5 ounces of the chicken breast because it's the highest in protein and mix that with that veggie mix that I love so much. And that'll be my bola. I'll add a tablespoon of ghee to it, my Fourth and Heart ghee, pink Himalayan salt ghee. And I'll have my raw veggie bowl of goodies over here with my Fage dressing and my Fage yogurt and my Bragg's dressing on that. And then in my bola will be the 4 to 5 ounces of the chicken breast along with the assortment of veggies that I love. And so it's just what I do. It works for me. And that's my OMAD. And it's satiating. It's rich. It feels good to have the ghee. I love, the taste of the ghee. I put the ghee in when I'm having my turkey cauliflower soup or my beef stew that I make in the crock pot with coffee and spaghetti sauce. And I got some better than bouillon beef, the little jar. I'm going to add that to it too to make it just that much more richer. Why not? Richer. We like richer. And so life is good. No complaints. I don't deprive myself. I think depriving myself is part of the buildup to the next overeating event that I don't want. And so at my age, being 70, maybe you're around my age too, what are you depriving yourself for? Haven't you done decades of deprivation dieting to reach a weight only to slowly get maybe a little more sloppy or loose, and then suddenly, the 21 pounds are back again? Why not really work hard? Now, I did this. Work hard on having something that doesn't make you feel deprived. You pick the item, and working on training yourself to get used to having that portion as something that keeps you from feeling deprived. It could be, it could be a carb, it could be a sugar, it could be a fruit, it could be anything. It's whatever you feel deprived from not having all these decades and learning to have it. I had to tell my head, this wasn't overnight, this was like months, years, decades, obviously, of like, I can have this item in safety, in my OMAD, in my life, because life is too short and I can make this work. I'm going to work really, really hard Now, if you've got sloppy habits and you pick and you sliver and you snack and you do those sort of things, you're not at that point yet, I would just strongly suggest. But if you've been doing maybe clean intermittent fasting, whatever is clean in your non eating times, to be able to have during your eating times something that you used to deprive yourself of because like dieting is always negative and always, no, it's always about deprivation, right? It's going without. But what if you included, that word moderation, right? Who could ever do that? I never could, but it took decades to get here. And so now there is moderation in my food plan. It's just worked for me, but I worked really hard at getting it clean and separated, the clean intermittent fasting and the OMAD clearly defined in my day. And I asked for this guidance and help from, up above every day just to keep me sane. And from that sanity comes abstinence and sobriety. Do you get how all these three things are all connected? And then in the deprived department's right over here, little deprived department, you can find that maybe you can be fortunate in having something that was heretofore a deprivation, and it always remains with you, right? Oh, how I missed that. Oh, how like there's sometimes when Greg has a hot dog with the burger on Fridays when we have it on the grill, and that hot dog looks so damn good. Not with the roll, but it just looks good as a hot dog, right? I don't know. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. Or I see somebody do something with an egg and it's like, well, why aren't I doing that? So it's allowing yourself to have something that was like verboten, is that the word? And it's like, no, I could never do that. I'd lose. If you're afraid of still losing control, you're not there yet. But if you've been doing everything and maintaining your little, outlined compartments and doing things clean over here and in there, and you're not like it's not sloppy. And you know the difference between clean intermittent fasting and a sloppy kind of program, right? So if sloppy has left your life and you're now kind of in very, very much defined areas, but yet you still feel defined, I say test the water with your big toe. If it doesn't work, you've learned. You're not going to lose everything, all that you've been working on for years, especially if you've been with me here. You know that like each year you get better at what you're doing, more understanding of your body, more understanding of like what you can eat, what works for you, what doesn't. I mean, there's still always going to be trigger foods for me that like just would never work. I know that. But like in the, wow, I'd really like a half of a pink grapefruit. Sometimes when I'm shopping for people, it's like, wow, this looks good. Um, you know, as simple as that, having the darn thing. I'm just suggesting put your little, maybe even just your little toe in the water. I don't know how you can do that without getting a foot cramp, but if the big toe is too much, try the baby toe. And just seeing how it works. Life is too short to be deprived, especially, if you're watching this, you're still alive after last year, and the sacrifices that you made, the things that you gave up just to stay alive and to continue. So to me, that was, and my falling and hurting my back and having the back surgery were two important pivotal moments for me where it's like, life is too short to have this no list of like 4,000 things. No, 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 no. And thinking of never having them again. It's too short. So I'm just saying, if you keep it, your sanity, your abstinence, and your sobriety, and, you're wondering about deprivation, just give it a thought, play with it for a while. Maybe it wouldn't work, but maybe it just will. And you can have more of a peace and a contentment and just a joy food is our joy, right? Especially now. And so that's how I've treated my food program, and it's kind of worked. It's an evolvement, it's not overnight, but the clean intermittent fasting over here was the big game changer for me. No Tic Tacs, no gum, no loaded coffees, no flavored soda waters. Clearly, just over there, plain, 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 no, 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 no. It's worked for me. I'm just sharing it here just in case it could work for you. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto and no deprivation. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.